Hey guys, Ken Cole here. How you doing? It's great to see you all. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, and so this is a new setup today. So please just let me know if you encounter any technical difficulties. But I'm so glad to be here with you today to talk about Cobra Kai season 4. We've been getting a lot of stuff lately. When kind of teases for more stuff coming. But as always, this is kind of like an open chat. It's great to see you guys. So feel free to kind of write your comments down and I'll address those, and we'll kind of go through some of the stuff we've seen lately. We've gotten posters, we've gotten potential promo release dates, and then we can just talk about, what it's like to be a Cobra Kai fan so close to season 4, which is going to be an epic season because I'm sure many of you are also fans of Terry Silver. He's going to be making his return. It's been like 32 years since we've seen him on screen. And really, he was a villain that was amazing, but it's almost like he wasn't seen enough by enough people. And so I think everyone, even Thomas Ian Griffith, never really even thought that Terry Silver would come back. But we're in a great place right now in the universe where Cobra Kai's come back. It's so popular. We all love it. There's this whole new generation of fans. There's so many Cobra Kai fans, I think, that have come into this universe from watching the Cobra Kai series without ever having watched the Karate Kid movies, which, when I was growing up, I watched all the Karate Kid movies. So it's really kind of an amazing show that works no matter how you enter the universe. So it's great to have you. And I'll be, just go ahead and keep chatting. First Strike Media, I see you there. Thanks. Yes. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. So, great to see you guys. Emmett, is Terry Silver a cunning villain? I would say not only is Terry Silver a cunning villain, he may be one of the most cunning villains in the history of cinema and maybe even television. I did a video called Why Terry Silver Rocks and What Terry Silver Wants, was kind of a follow-up to that. And it's really kind of amazing, all of these qualities that Terry has, just as a character and as a villain. And one of those is just his dedication to planning and controlling situations just at levels that people don't expect. Like he's, kind of playing like a 3D chess game with everyone. He's wanting control over every situation. So yeah, he's the kind of villain that has almost every scenario planned out. And so, yes, definitely he's a cunning villain, and that makes him super, super fun to watch. Hey, everyone. Hey, Tony. Hey, good to see you. And a lot of people brought this up too. What Armando said, how is Thomas Ian Griffith older than Ralph Macchio? It's hard to process. And, I think that's really just, just great acting, and, you've got great actors, that are able to play their age, able to play older, and able to play younger. And as we know, Ralph Macchio, through the Karate Kid movies, really great actor that was really able to play. He, has great youthful appearance, but he's able to play younger. He played a kid well into his upper 20s, and I think people still look at him and go, oh, wow, he's young. He could be a kid. And I think Thomas Ian Griffith on the flip side of that, is such a great actor that he was able to play older, than he was, even though I think he's just a few months younger than Ralph Macchio, but it's what happens when you get great actors together. Let's see. Okay, this is a good question. Quick question: will we get to see Mike Barnes' character as a surprise guest? Please advise. Well, Edward, I don't know. I don't have any knowledge of what might happen in the show, but Mike Barnes is such a great character, and he directly ties into not only, Daniel's story, and he was briefly a kind of a for-hire member of Cobra Kai, but he ties in with Kreese and Terry Silver. I mean, they have a history too. And he also competed in the All Valley tournament. So I would think that if Mike Barnes comes back, and I'm hopeful that he does, It won't be just a guest appearance. I don't think it'll be like a cameo for one episode. I think he would work into the larger story. That's just my guess, and it's also my hope. So, okay, First Strike Media. Other than Terry Silver, who's your favorite character in the Miyagi-verse? That's really tough. Man, it's tough. I loved watching all those movies like growing up and Summer Vacation, and Terry Silver's great. I love Mr. Miyagi. He's just fantastic. He's sort of a mentor that I think everyone wishes they had. Because I think everyone feels like Daniel at some point where they feel sort of like maybe out of place. They wish they had like some special insight to deal with problems. And they want to learn. They want to learn a skill, or they want to learn about themselves, or they want to learn wisdom. That they can use throughout their lives and pass on to future generations. And how great is Mr. Miyagi? He's so serene. He's good-hearted. He's really dedicated to Daniel. And I think there's that thing where Mr. Miyagi sees something in Daniel. And I think everyone would love for someone like Mr. Miyagi to come along and maybe see something in them, or to have a mentor that sees something that they want to cultivate, in them. So I don't know, at least for me, Mr. Miyagi is just, amazing. And it's too bad that Pat Morita's gone, because he would be amazing if he could be, involved, in this series. I think he'd be really excited to see where it's gone. Let's see. Is Terry Silver going to be the same acting as a Karate Kid 3? Right. So I think, yes, if you're asking if it's going to be the same actor, he definitely is. It's going to be Thomas Ian Griffith, and he is back. And there was a lot of controversy. I don't know if you remember. A lot of people wanted Terry to come back. He was name dropped in season 1. I think it's like episode 7 of season 1, where the All Valley Committee actually says Terry Silver and asks Johnny, do you know Sensei Terry Silver? And at that point, people were asking, well, is Terry Silver going to come back? And, people at that point were saying, no, Thomas Ian Griffith, he's moved on from acting. He's producing, he's writing, he's probably not going to come back and act. And that was really the line for a long time. I think even until last year, people were still pushing that. And the producers of the show, the showrunners, actually had to come out and say, well, no, we haven't heard that he doesn't want to come back and that he's opposed to coming back. They couldn't say that he was coming back at that point. But so it's fantastic that he is back. So yes, it will be the same actor. Well, let's jump into this, because we've got some images, and a lot of you guys online. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Tony. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Really, really great. I appreciate that. And thanks for watching. Thanks for your contribution. And I know a lot of you have seen all the posters and things that have been posted on social media lately. Let's go into that and let's talk about that. And I want to tell you too, I've been working really hard on a project that I'll tell you a little bit about later. So I have been trying to keep up and everything, and maybe normally I do a video, but I just wanted to kind of take a look at this with you guys. And you might have thought about it, and some of you guys might have made videos about this already. But let's just talk, and I'll tell you my thoughts, and then you can jump in with your thoughts too, because I'm really interested to hear what you have to say. But let's look at this poster. Okay, so this came out like a few days ago, and it's awesome. It's like an All Valley tournament poster, almost like it really exists in the San Fernando Valley. That this is going to be an event that we could go to, and I wish I could go to this. But if you look, it's talking about the dates leading up to the tournament. So we have the 51st Karate Championship at the All Valley under 18. And then it has these dates that have descriptions to them. So December 9th has training begins. December 13th is registration opens. December 15th is team photo day. And December 31st is tournament begins. So I'd be interested to get you guys' thoughts on this and what this means, because, I thought that this might mean that they are teasing actual releases of promo material. And so I saw this and I tweeted, I don't know if you can read that, but so the official Cobra Kai Twitter tweeted this and I said, awesome, almost like it's really happening. Possible promo release date hints. And then if you look down towards the bottom, the Cobra Kai channel replied with 2 exclamation points. So that's interesting. So to me, this is definitely, they're kind of like teasing that these could be major dates as far as releases. So what is this? Like what is going to happen on these dates? Well, I don't know. Obviously, one of these is going to be a trailer. They're going to have the official trailer. And so let's look at the wording. So December 31st is tournament begins. Okay, so we know that that's the release of season 4. Now, the wording on December 9th is training begins. So it's almost like the tournament is the full event. It's the big thing. It's everything that's going to happen, and it's beginning. Now, training seems like it's sort of like the practice, kind of like run up to the tournament. So to me, those two are linked. And so I'm thinking probably we're going to see a trailer. The trailer for season 4 of Cobra Kai on December 9th. That's just a guess if their wording means anything. Yeah, exactly. Brody, December 9th is the official trailer release date, I presume. Right. So that's what I'm thinking. It's got to be, I think if you're going by the wording, it has to be that. Now, December 13th, registration opens. That's really interesting because there are all kinds of different promotional things that they could do. They could do interviews, big spreads with big publications. They could do photos, stills, sort of like what they've done before. They could, I don't know, they could do more reveals of different characters with the, and we'll see it in a second, but we have that poster of, we see Terry really for the first time. And so maybe we'll start to see Terry, the different looks of Terry. I'm not sure. They might kind of like keep him as a kind of not give away too much for Terry yet. But, it's really, I don't know. There's all kinds of things. So I'm thinking that maybe December 13th, maybe that's interviews. Maybe there's an onslaught of articles and different publications really revealing more information about what the season's about. And then December 15th, Team Photo Day. Maybe they'll release stills or production photos from season 4. Maybe it'll be, maybe they'll reveal new characters. They haven't talked much about the Devin character yet. So maybe they'll talk about new characters and maybe hint at more storylines happening, maybe more cameos. And then December 31st, we know, is the release for Cobra Kai season 4, which we're all looking forward to. And then, so I don't know. So anyway, let me know, guys, if you have thoughts on that poster, what any of those could be, or if you've seen anything. Okay, let's see. We've got a question. Okay. Do you think that they might postpone the release of season 4, like what happened with season 3? I was wondering this because last year with season 3, I think it was January 17th that, season 3 was supposed to come out. And then they did this kind of gag where Johnny went in there and changed the release date. So it would be New Year's or New Year's Eve. I'm trying to remember which date. I think it was January 1st, and which was really funny. But they basically moved it up about 2 weeks. So a lot of people have been wondering, are they going to do the same thing this year? And from everything I've been seeing, I don't think so. Because I think sort of that New Year's release really proved to be a great time. Like Cobra Kai got incredible numbers. It was just a great day to release all that content at once so people could just binge it. And so I'm thinking it really works as a release date. And then from everything we've seen, like there was, and I don't have it as part of this presentation, but there was a TikTok video that basically, trying to get people to tune in on December 31st. They had new footage of Johnny and Daniel in Mr. Miyagi's backyard, kind of like training with the students or, kind of sparring each other. And they kept on pushing this December 31st release date. So I think because there have been so many forms of promotion for season 4 that have pushed December 31st, I think that's pretty much going to be it. Because at this point, they'd have to undo a lot of messaging to have it push up. And also, it's sort of like everyone's kind of in the middle of the holidays. And so, once you get past that, maybe people will be in a better position to sit down and binge a series. So anyway, that's just my thought. I don't know for sure. It's possible, but I don't know. I'd be interested to hear what you guys say on that. And Daniel says trailer comes out on December 9th. Yeah, I think it seems like that's what's going to happen. Okay, Emmett asks, is it true that Cobra Kai was shut down for good due to Kreese and Barnes and Silver's behavior? Well, yeah, it seems as though if you go back to the season 1 All Valley committee meeting that Johnny was at, he had such a problem entering Cobra Kai into the tournament because of unethical behavior of Barnes, Silver, and Kreese. And so that will be an interesting question. If Cobra Kai is back, they allowed Cobra Kai to come back, but if Cobra Kai is being run by these guys, John Kreese and Terry Silver, who were banned from the tournament for unethical behavior, how's that going to work? And I don't know. With Terry Silver and John Kreese, he's also very manipulative, but with Terry Silver, it looks like he's still rich. And he's very manipulative. So it's very possible that they could find a way to change the All Valley Committee's opinion towards them. You notice that in Karate Kid 3, Terry actually donated the permanent home of the All Valley tournament. Before the tournament, he entered the stage and made a great speech right after they announced that he donated this permanent home for the tournament. I don't know what happened after Karate Kid 3. Maybe we'll know. Maybe we'll learn what happened. I'm wondering if maybe he just withdrew his donation when he lost, and who knows if that relates to why they were banned or not. But Terry's very persuasive, and it looks like he's rich, and so I'm sure that it would be kind of a fun challenge for Terry. It might not even be much of a challenge for him to get the committee to change their minds about him and John Kreese being allowed to participate in the All Valley tournament. Let's see. Do you think that Kyler has a shot at the title? That's interesting because, we're just starting to see Kyler now, and we're starting to see, what his skills might be. He seems to have a temperament that's maybe along the lines of what John Kreese was looking for. So, I think anything's possible. He could explode in season 4 and be just really a great fighting talent. And he might have a great attitude of no mercy, So I think it'll be fun to see exactly what Kyler can do. Let's see. Will you do a video on Chozen or Sato like you did with Barnes and Silver? I do have a video on Sato that's coming. I've been working on this other kind of bigger project, but I look forward to getting that video to you on Sato. And it's different. It'll be fun. It's kind of fun. It's sort of like taking a different look at it. Some of you may have seen my video about who would win in a fight, of all of like the bad, evil senseis, who would win. And Sato, I put as number 1. So I am maybe going to be taking another look at that and, taking a closer look at Sato and maybe if he's a little overrated, kind of in a funny way. Here's a quote. Will Terry still have Dynatox with him? That's a great question. I hope so, because it's just all these things, like, that's such a great name. It's like, it's great. It's over the top. It sounds horrible. And it's just, I don't know. When I think of Terry, I think of Dynatox, and definitely check out my Dynatox commercial I did. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But I hope so. I would love to see a return of Dynatox. I hope Terry is still doing well business wise. I think it's fun to have him as pursuing world domination. Do you think Snake and Dennis are still around? That's a really good question. One thing to, I've wondered about, and I wonder if you guys have thoughts on this, is after Karate Kid 3, after Terry lost, I'm sure that is the one thing that would tick him off more than anything, is just his plans going awry and being defeated. So what's the fallout from that? How did he treat everyone? Did he blame them for basically losing it for him, for not, training people enough? Did he take his anger out on everyone? So would he keep Snake and Dennis around, or would he get rid of them? Is there more history that's happened between all those people? Would Snake and Dennis be mad at Terry? Would they be against him? I don't know. Those are some really good questions. I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say about that. Let's see. What happens when two people from the same dojo end up in the final? That would be the most awkward thing. Well, that's interesting, because, a lot of my commenters brought up that if you listen really close, in Karate Kid 1, Bobby Brown actually fought Johnny Lawrence in the 1983 All Valley tournament. They competed in the final, and Johnny won. So I don't know. I guess it comes down to, what's your dojo like? What's the culture of your dojo like? Just how do you sportsmanship, and I guess that would be an ideal thing for two teammates to end up in the final. So I guess you could look at it that way. Let's see. Okay. Imagine if in season 4, okay, this is Jorge. Imagine if in season 4, we see that Terry has surveillance cameras all over the valley, including footage of the school fight, the Reseda strip mall, etc. This is a great point, because I think Terry is this type of person that loves to have complete knowledge over everything that's going on, complete control over everything. So it's almost like, yeah, he could be like surveilling everything and seeing what's going on, keeping tabs on everyone, Daniel, the kids. I would think he'd be very interested in what's been going on with Cobra Kai, the dojo, lately, unless he's kind of absorbed in all his other things and doesn't care. But, he was a founding member of Cobra Kai. So if he hadn't known about Cobra Kai up till now, then I'm sure when Kreese tells him about what's been going on, he would, at least deep down, be extremely interested in looking at this opportunity, because he came up with this idea of a chain of Cobra Kai dojos, which didn't work out for whatever reason. So yeah, I could see him being like a real control freak and wanting to surveil everything. That's kind of a fun idea. Okay, so here's the question. The first trailer showed Miguel punching it and going into a horse stance while Eli was kicking. Do you think Miguel would be able to kick and be at his 100% in the tournament? That's an excellent question, because really season 4 is going to pick up, I think, right where season 3 left off. And that really wasn't that much recovery time for Miguel. Unless everything rewired really quickly in his, system, maybe he's not at full strength. And maybe that's kind of a handicap this time for Miguel and the Miyagi-Do Eagle Fang Dojo is he has the skill, but maybe he doesn't quite have the physical capability yet. He's not at his full potential. So maybe that's something we have to watch, and that might introduce a little bit of tension for season 4. Okay, Vincent asks, who do you think will be the big reveal at the end of season 4? I think it will be Barnes. Yeah, I think it definitely could be Mike Barnes. I think Mike Barnes could show up. I'm also kind of wondering if there won't be just one big reveal. I'm wondering if there might be a few. There've been lots of, John, Josh, and Hayden, who are the showrunners, have teased that season 4 is going to be epic. It's going to be really big, almost beyond what we thought it would be. And so you wonder what's in store for us. Is it just going to be one big reveal at the end of the season, or are there going to be like major surprises throughout that are going to, for longtime fans, kind of knock our socks off? So, but I think it's possible Mike Barnes could show up. That would be a heck of a way to end season 4 and get interest up for season 5. But yeah, I would think, this is just personal guess, I would think that Mike Barnes would come back either in season 4 or in season 5. I would think. And we know, I think season 5 is about to finish shooting. So let's see. Detective Bat. Do you believe Mike Barnes might team up with Daniel against Silver and Kreese? And do you think if Mike won, he wouldn't get what he wanted from Silver? I think that it's very possible Mike might not be on Terry Silver's side. I made a video called Mike Barnes Master Bully, and kind of at the end of that, I sort of speculated, what could happen. It could be that Mike Barnes, got upset at Terry Silver, or Terry Silver got upset at Mike Barnes, but they reconciled at some point. It's possible Terry Silver kind of let Mike Barnes off the hook. But I don't know. It seems like Terry Silver also could have gotten really mad at Mike Barnes for losing that tournament, and they could not be on good terms. Mike Barnes obviously was a really good fighter, and he was young, and he just had a lifetime ahead of him, a lifetime of potential. And he seemed to have a good head on his shoulders when it came to business. So it'd be interesting if Mike Barnes almost followed Terry's path in terms of being a great fighter, but also being, somewhat successful in whatever he chose to do. And, maybe he holds a grudge too, so it's possible he could become friends with Daniel. It's possible that he could just also be on his own side and sort of use Daniel or whoever to further his own agenda, which may be to go after Terry. But again, I don't know. I think all of that is, speculation. It really just depends where the writers want to go with that story, and it could work either way. You could see Mike Barnes and Terry being best friends too. So that's a good question. Okay. Do you believe the theory that Tori will teach a Cobra Kai class, especially with the chain of Cobra Kai dojos thing you mentioned? I don't know. That's possible. I think if Kreese or Terry Silver tend to favor Tori, then it's possible that maybe they'll give her a spot where she's teaching, or some kind of elevated status. But I think right now, at least with season 4, we don't quite know what's going to happen. And I would think if we do see a chain of Cobra Kai dojos, then I would guess that would probably happen in season 5. But I don't know. That's a really good question. That would be an interesting opportunity for growth for Tori's character, where she's actually kind of more of a leadership teacher role in the Cobra Kai organization. Let's see. And then, okay, so Brody says that Watch Party made a theory video on Tori teaching at Cobra Kai. I will have to check that out. Watch Party has lots of amazing ideas, so I'm going to have to check that out. Let's see. To be honest, I'd rather Mike Barnes stayed bad because I don't want everyone turning good against Terry Silver and Kreese. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because with someone like Terry Silver, it can be easy to, if he's really bad, then anyone who's against Terry Silver would be good, right? You would tend to think of them as good. So I could see that. Like, you feel like maybe Johnny and Daniel right now are good guys, and all those students and Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do are good. And then so we need another side. We need some gray. We don't need just black or white. Yeah, I could see that. It would be fun to see Mike Barnes come back and kind of be his own agent. He's kind of gone rogue and he's got his own agenda. That would be really cool to see. No Name says, hello, how are you? I'm doing great. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's see. This is a great question. Do you think Chosen will become a visiting sensei and help Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do fight Cobra Kai? I would love to see this. Like, I'm a huge fan of Chosen. I love where they brought the character in the series. And, he appears to be now pretty much on Miyagi tier, in terms of, skill, ability, wisdom, temperament. He still teaches. So he's, much more so than Daniel and Johnny, he's been teaching all these years. It looks like he's been teaching, the Miyagi-Do style. And so, I would love for him to, somehow become more a part of what Daniel's doing. And I would love to see Chosen and Terry Silver fight each other. I mean, if you're talking about dream matchups, I'd be there in a second. So, let's see what else is going on. Okay, here's the question. Do you think Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do will split up? I don't know for sure, but I know this. Terry Silver is a master at manipulating situations. I think if it's in his interests that Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do split, then I think he will do his best to make sure they do. So, and John Kreese, I'll throw John Kreese in there too. If they're working together, I think that is entirely possible. I really hope that Daniel and Johnny, we've seen them kind of be at each other's throats for a while. It would be nice to have them kind of at least be somewhat on a similar wavelength. But yeah, it's like you throw Terry Silver into this, anything could happen. But well, let's go ahead, and we've got another thing that came out recently. We've got a poster. So take a look at this. This is the official Cobra Kai season 4 poster. A lot of you have seen this. And it's just, isn't this a great poster? My goodness. So what I love about this, and Thomasine Griffith, when he tweeted this, he said basically a storm is brewing. And I love that kind of imagery. So on the bottom, you have the San Fernando Valley, in LA. And it looks, by the way, the San Fernando Valley here looks absolutely epic. And in the middle of it, you have this logo, the shining logo of the All Valley Tournament, just beaming up into the sky. It's almost like that light on the Luxor, in Vegas, just beaming right into the sky. And that's splitting. We have like the two dojos that we know about right now, heading into the All Valley Tournament. And you have the storm clouds above, and you have the light and the dark, and on the light side, we've got Johnny and Daniel. And then we have Dimitri, Miguel, Sam, and Hawk. And what's interesting here is that they've kind of kept the identities of their senseis. So Daniel is wearing his, classic Mr. Miyagi-Do headband, and Dimitri and Sam are also wearing a white gi, kind of going along with Miyagi-Do. Johnny is wearing his classic black headband, and Hawk and Miguel are wearing black gis. So they're kind of still kind of identifying with Johnny, at least in the poster. So I think that's really interesting. And that kind of gets back to the previous question of, are they going to stay together or are they going to split? Because you'd think if they go into the tournament together as one dojo, they'd be wearing kind of like the same gis, like a uniform. So maybe the poster is kind of leaving this open or ambiguous, or maybe they're just trying to associate, these characters with their senseis. I don't know, I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about that. Now, on the left side, this is where it gets interesting. Of course, we have Kreese. He's Martin Kove. He's looking like classic Kreese. He's looking kind of very self-satisfied and very smug and very confident. And And then to the left of him, this is beautiful, in the shadows, right over his shoulder, is Terry Silver. And I mean, look at this. Okay, now this is the first full face reveal of Terry Silver since Karate Kid 3. This is the first really good look at Terry Silver since then. And it's just amazing, you know, and I said this on Twitter, but it's just incredible that this character, you know, that a lot of us loved, you know, from way back, is coming back after 32 years. And you can see that they've kept him in the shadows. We really can't see an outline of his body even. It's almost like his head is hovering there, almost like a mist, like he's some kind of mythical, I don't know, demon or something, a devil over Kreese's shoulder. It's pretty incredible. But he looks very determined. And what I think is very interesting about how Terry looks here is that it's very different from the promo images they've released. If you remember, we've seen a lot of Terry in the series so far, where his hair's down and he's wearing kind of like these beaded, sort of like fashionable new age bracelets. And, you know, he's got this very relaxed, rich look. You know, he's wearing, you know, just the Rolex and the Ferragamo belt, which, you know, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed the handcuffs theory on that. But, and, you know, so he's looking kind of relaxed like a rich guy. And he doesn't look that bad. Like he's smiling at the restaurant with Kreese. And, you know, he seems like, oh, this guy's not so bad. But it right here in this poster, this is classic Terry. This is Terry from Karate Kid 3, very menacing, very devious, with his hair pulled back. So it looks like, you know, the Terry that we know will rear its head sooner or later, but he might present himself in different ways to different people. So anyway, so that's just incredible to see Terry and Kreese together again. And then below we have Kyler, who someone was wondering, could he actually win? And he could be pretty good. We have Robbie, who's obviously very talented. He's now been in, you know, he's trained with Daniel. So he knows Miyagi-Do style really well. And now he's gone over to Cobra Kai. So if he's going to be trained now by Kreese and maybe Terry Silver, he could be pretty dangerous because he's going to be very familiar with everyone's styles. And he might know how to find weaknesses in everyone's styles. And then there's Tori, who a lot of people say her temperament, she goes so over the top when she gets angry. A lot of people have said that she's related to Terry Silver, you know, just because, you know, Terry can sometimes go over the top and be uncontrollable. So, you know, that's interesting. But regardless of whether she's related or not, Tori is obviously very talented and has the temperament for Cobra Kai. She's definitely a no mercy kind of fighter that we've seen so far, especially after what she did to Sam. So, and I think Vincent asks, is that kid in the corner Kenny? Yes, it looks like this is Kenny. So this is a character that we've seen very briefly in the trailer that was released. We saw Hawk sort of bullying him. It looked like in a restroom. And we weren't sure why, but it looked like he had a Cobra Kai shirt on at the time. And then in the photos released recently by People Magazine, they show Kenny walking down the hall. This is a new character walking down the hall, and it looked like he was being bullied at school. So from this poster, they were kind of keeping it ambiguous, like what's going on with Kenny? Is he part of Cobra Kai? Well, this poster reveals that Kenny is, at least for part of the season, maybe for the tournament, going to be fighting for Cobra Kai, which is really interesting because is he new? Is he new to martial arts? Is he just starting now? Or does he actually have a background in martial arts? And you know, what's his story? You know, I'm very curious to see what this character is all about. And because he, you know, I don't know, he doesn't look like a bully. Maybe it's because, you know, we saw Hawk sort of bullying him, but you know, it'd be interesting to see how he fits in with you know, the Cobra Kai dojo. Let's see. So anyway, so this poster, okay, and then at the bottom, it's Fight for the Soul of Valley, December 31st on Netflix. So on all of these imagery, on all of this stuff, this poster, and someone mentioned before, is it really going to be December 31st? That the release date's going to be December 31st, and they're not going to move it around? Well, I think, if we look at the poster, this is consistent with all their messaging so far, all their promo messaging, that it's going to be December 31st. So I would expect this to be the actual real release date. So that's really cool. And actually, check this out. I don't know if you guys saw this. It's I love it. It's Lego Cobra Kai. You should follow them. Follow Lego Cobra Kai down there in the corner. It's pretty amazing. I love what they do. Look, they did this like same day. Isn't this incredible? Like, they basically recreated that entire poster with Lego characters. And of course, my gosh, look at look at all of them. Look at Daniel, but look at Kreese and look at Terry Silver. Isn't that great? I don't know, but big fan of Lego stuff, and well done, Lego Cobra Kai. So let's see. We've got Mr. Cole. Who do you think Terry Silver will be instigating to perform the Quicksilver method? Which student will he be focusing in to order? So who is he going to focus on in this time? I don't know. I kind of thought that they were kind of setting up Tori in one of the trailer shots previously. It's almost like she was doing repeated punches to the face. So it almost looked like a man can't breathe, he can't fight. So I was wondering if he might go with Tori. It's possible that he could focus a little bit on some of the students in Cobra Kai, but you remember in Karate Kid 3, he was all about going in to the enemy camp and basically trying to convert Daniel into being a member of Cobra Kai. So you would think if he was focusing on students, he might focus on students who are not part of Cobra Kai and try to undermine them or convert them. It's also possible that Terry could be not as focused on students, but he could go after someone like Johnny, and try to get Johnny back, because, despite what's gone on between Kreese and Johnny, Kreese was always very insistent on getting Robbie and Johnny together again. And maybe in his own demented way, he'd still like that to happen, where Johnny would be training Robbie, and almost like the family would all be back together again. So I don't know. It'd be interesting if Terry also is working on Johnny and maybe trying to get him to move away from Daniel. Here's the thing, though, and why everyone is having so much fun discussing all these theories. I kind of want to know what's going to happen, but I think the great thing about Cobra Kai is it's a well-written show. And when you have a well-written show with a lot of great characters, there are a lot of different things that can happen, and they could all work. It's just depending on what the writers want to do. And I think sometimes you see with shows that don't have as great fun characters, you're a little bit more limited on what would make sense plot-wise. But when you have so many great characters, it could really go in a lot of different directions. And the idea that you're going to take these characters, that we've seen over 3 seasons, and you're going to bring in Terry Silver into the mix, that's going to be a test for all those characters. It could bring, Terry Silver could be a test for any of the characters that will bring up new things about them that we don't know yet. On the other side, in Karate Kid 3, for Terry Silver, he only interacted with a few people. He interacted with Mr. Miyagi and Daniel and Mike Barnes and his employee. That's it. Whereas now Terry Silver is going to be entering a situation where he has all these characters he's interacting with, and some of them might test him in surprising ways that, just there wasn't an opportunity to do that in Karate Kid 3. So, it'll be really interesting to see what happens. So I guess that's a long answer for Could be Tori, but it could be someone else. Could be Miguel. Could be, it could be anyone. But it does look like we are going to see the Quicksilver method again. So that very first teaser of Terry Silver, we heard him reciting the Quicksilver method. So it'll be fun to see. Let's see what we got. I hope I don't miss any of you guys' comments. Right. So from the pics, Anthony has a Cobra Kai shirt. That's right. So what's Anthony doing with the Cobra Kai shirt? Is it possible that Terry Silver would go after Anthony? It's because you remember Terry wants absolute control over every situation, and he wants to manipulate things behind the scenes and really demoralize and get in people's heads. And so if he's going after Daniel, if that's his target, which you would think that would be a big target because Daniel defeated him way back when, then what's the best way to get at Daniel? Well, Terry may go after Anthony. So that would be interesting if Anthony is tempted to join Cobra Kai. That I'm sure would really get Daniel very upset. Let's see. Oh, Oses, my goodness. Thank you so much. That's really amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you guys all. Thank you for watching. It's a lot of fun to do this because, gosh, I think it's been 6 months since I've done a live stream. So I might do a lot more of these actually, just because we're going to have a lot of news coming out, pretty soon. And for all of you watching, I know if you watched my last video, you know that I mentioned that I'm working on a big project. And so today on this live stream, I want to thank you guys. And I am going to show the first image. No one has seen this yet. You're going to see it here for the very first time. I'm just going to share an image, and I'm not going to say anything. And I'll start to be sharing this more and more. There'll be more information coming out. But here you go, guys, and I'm very excited to share this with you. There it is. That's something that's coming out really soon. So I don't know how much you're able to tell from that image, but I'm going to be very excited to present that very soon. So thank you guys for watching this live stream today. And it was very, very cool to be able to share that with you. So we'll have a lot more coming soon on Cobra Kai. So anyways, let's see. What do you think registration begins line me on the recent poster? I don't know. I'm wondering if that means news articles, big stories, that's kind of gets into what season 4, the meat of the story. So I don't know. It's a great, but I'm wondering if it's going to be more in-depth articles and that type of thing. Let's see. Oh, thank you very much. In Silver's voice and nod, perfect. Yeah. Oh, guys, if you're a fan of Terry Silver in Cobra Kai and Karate Kid 3, you guys are going to love Cobra Kai. That's all I have to say. I'm super excited to share this with you. A lot more coming, and I wonder if you could kind of guess anything about what this is. So I want to give special credit to. This is a short film that's coming. Dave Schrock is the director of photography, and so he got some of these amazing shots. And Let's Be Water, who I'm sure a lot of you know, has worked on this, created this image. So, And I will be telling you more about Cobra Kai coming soon, but it's a lot of fun. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So, does Cobra Kai have a release date? Yes. Yes, it does, but I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to be, but I am going to keep posted. So follow me on Twitter. Follow me here on YouTube. I'm going to be releasing more. There are going to be more images that will kind of give you a kind of bigger picture on what this is going to be. So keep watching. So over the next week, keep watching for more news. Okay, here's a question from Scotty. Are you the corrupt judge's son from part 3? I won't confirm or deny that. All I can say is just watch Cobra Kai. I think you'll get a lot more information on my background and exactly what I'm doing here on YouTube, talking about Terry Silver. So, yeah. So I won't confirm or deny any relations to Willie Cole. Let's see. Frankie Waltz. Kreese and Terry's fallout will be caused by Kreese's soft spots and love for Tori, Robbie, and Johnny Lawrence, especially Tori. We see the seeds planted in season 3. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. I would, it's interesting with Terry, what drives him, what motivates Terry. So I think he wants control over everything. And they kind of set up an interesting dynamic in the Vietnam flashback sequences where, at least they showed Terry as not being able to fight for himself or really kind of having a nervous breakdown, and Kreese kind of fought in his place. And so, I don't know. I kind of wonder if Terry is, spent the time during the war and after the war really kind of that gave him almost sort of a complex where he wanted to be like the best. And he almost wanted to be as good as, like, he looked up to Kreese, but he wanted to be as good or better than Kreese. And so I don't know. And pair that with the fact that Terry wants control over every situation from his perspective. If there was going to be a falling out between those two, I would think it would have to do with Terry losing control or John Kreese not wanting to go with what Terry wants to do. For John Kreese, he's kind of an interesting character because, you can tell that he's got, real deep down, he's wounded, but he really feels for people. Like, he was in love, and, the love of his life died, and, he had to kill his own captain, and, he went through all these horrible things, but at the core of it, and his mother died. And, that's just, he's had a lot of personal tragedy, and he's hurt. So, perhaps he has more empathy deep down than Terry does. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah. If he does have affection for Tori, if that's part of the problem, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if there is a split between Terry and Kreese. Who knows? They might be best friends forever, BFFs. Let's see. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. This is kind of my first time. I'm just very humbled, when you guys, donate anything. I really appreciate it. Really, it helps this channel and, what we're trying to do. Okay, so again, Cole, do you think Terry will be at the prom scene like he was at the dance club in Karate Kid 3? I love it. Oh, that's great. That would be so funny. That would be such a callback. And I just love the idea, because really, what would Terry Silver be doing at a prom? That's so ridiculous. But that's one of the great things about Terry is he can do ridiculous things. So yes, I would love to see that. That scene is one of my favorites from Karate Kid 3. It's just great. Like, looking at it as a kid is very different than looking at it as an adult. when you're a kid, it makes sense. Like, oh, these enemies, these grown-up enemies are here to hurt my life or whatever. But as an adult, when you watch the scenes, you're like, what is this guy? What is this grown man doing, like, at a nightclub trying to terrorize kids? I don't know. That's why I love the character. Do you think Terry Silver has still been practicing karate all these years? I don't know. This is a great question. It really has to do with the writers and, what has he done since Karate Kid 3? I would guess that yes. I don't think he would ever stop. He was very much a practicing martial artist in Karate Kid 3. And we saw him practicing, and we never saw Kreese practicing, in fact. So he hired sparring partners. He was doing katas, by himself. So it's like that was a really important continuing part of his life. And maybe the philosophy of Cobra Kai, strike first, strike hard, no mercy, is what gave him such success in business. Maybe that's how he performed in the business world and how he amassed his wealth. So maybe those two things are really tied together. And so I would think that he would continue to do that. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know if he actually continued to go back and train with Master Kim. He certainly would have the money and the time if he wanted to keep flying to South Korea. So he might be quite good. And let's see. Do you think Terry would manipulate Hawk in a way? I think he definitely could. I mean, Hawk has been. He's got all of the personal characteristics of someone that Terry could manipulate. Hawk was bullied. He was already converted by Cobra Kai. He's vulnerable on the inside. And I think if Terry wanted to, he could really tap into that, so I think he would be a great target for that. Okay. Ned would get introduced into the series at the prom scene where he breaks through the roof. That's how he and Silver meet in this hypothetical prom scene. I love how you guys are thinking that, because that's right. And I hadn't seen the Karate Kid 3, next Karate Kid, I'm sorry, until, actually like 5 or 6 months ago. I hadn't watched it in years. And there is that whole scene with the Alpha Elites that do like some crazy stunt where they're bungee jumping off the gymnasium ceiling right into the prom, and it goes wrong. And it almost really doesn't make any sense. But it would be kind of a good opportunity to have callbacks to next Karate Kid in season 4. So, okay. There's this. Illuminational says, it's been rumored that Terry will kill a character in season 4 or season 5. Could this be real, or is it just over-exaggerated? It's one of those things where it really depends on where they take the character, and is it in Terry's character to kill someone in a non-war situation? That's something that could be part of the character that they write into the series. Based on Karate Kid 3, to me, that doesn't seem like Terry's style. It's almost like he enjoys torturing people as opposed to killing people. Like I had this great conversation with Cobra Kai Kid, and we were talking about kind of the difference between Kreese is all about finishing someone, finish them, like he did with his captain, and he tells everyone to finish him. Whereas Terry is all about drawing it out. He loves to dish out pain to his enemies. So if you kill someone, you can't cause them pain anymore, and you can't control them anymore. And I think those are two things that Terry really wants to do, is cause pain to his enemies, keep on torturing them, and then also having control over them. And, I'm sure he would love to know that they know he controls them and what they do. So, and he just loves petty things. And so, based on Karate Kid 3. So I would guess he wouldn't kill, but the thing is, we now have that backstory with the war, and we don't know what else happened in Vietnam. We don't know if he did kill for Kreese. We don't know if that's kind of a turning point in his life. if he killed during the war and what that was like. Did he finally come around where he was able to beat his fear and really become terrible himself? If that's true, if that happened, then it's possible that something in season 4 could trigger that. And he might go into a whole new mode where he'd be willing to kill. I don't know. But my sense is in the context of the series, I don't know anything about what's going to happen, but it's very possible that he killed for Kreese in the war. But I don't know if he would kill someone in the Valley in 2020, 1920, or wherever the show is right now. So, okay, Rich has a question. Do you think we'll see Mr. Miyagi in a flashback like we did that one season 2 episode intro where he builds the dojo? I think so. I think they've really kind of kept that going where, they've had Miyagi come back and, I think we might, you're talking about not a flashback to the movie, but actually the flashback where we see the actor walk into frame who's playing Mr. Miyagi. We just see him from the back. It's possible. I don't know. I would say definitely we'll see some new shots of Pat Morita, flashback shots of Pat Morita, because that seems to be a thing that they've kept going. But I don't know if we'll see kind of like the back of an actor again. That's kind of a cool shot to see. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Do you have a theory on how Kreese and Silver became master manipulators? I think that probably the best answer to that would be Master Kim Sung-yeon of South Korea. That is someone who I believe we see on the wall of the Cobra Kai dojo in Karate Kid 1. And Terry Silver names him in Karate Kid 3. That was Terry Silver and John Kreese's sensei. Probably you could say the father of the Cobra Kai style. And I think it's very possible that John Kreese and Terry Silver learned a lot about manipulating enemies and fighting and war from him. And I want to say that's almost something similar to The Art of War, the book, The Art of War. I think there's a lesson or something in that along the lines of, don't engage in fighting your enemy until the victory has already been won, something like that. And so I think there's a lot of sort of ancient wisdoms in fighting wars that probably Master Kim passed down and trained Terry Silver and John Kreese. And so that's probably one of the things would be completely manipulating the situation. It could be that Terry Silver really took to heart all of these lessons about controlling the situation beyond the battle, maybe demoralizing, manipulating your enemies, weakening them before going in for the strike, that kind of thing. So, wow. Thank you. Osei thank you so much. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Sure. That's humbling. I have art photos of you. You'd like to see it. Sure. That would be great if you maybe posted in a comment or something. That's the first time anyone's done that. So thank you very much. Why do you think Daniel? Okay. Commander Fox. Why do you think Daniel seemed to have a tougher time with Kreese than Johnny at the finale? I don't know. That's a really good question. It could be that Kreese is just more experienced. He's tougher. He's battle hardened. He's been a sensei for a long time. His skills have been tested in combat. And maybe Kreese is superior to Johnny in that respect. Maybe that's why he had a hard time. Do you think that the 83 hit Every Breath You Take will play at the prom in season 4? It's possible. I guess that's possible. I'm trying to think. I'm not that old, but I remember during our proms we had all kinds of songs play. But I wonder what slow song they'd play. Unless that's a slow. I don't know if you slow dance to that song or not. But Let's see. Is it possible Kreese would betray Terry after giving him what he wants, or will he keep him for more use? See, that's interesting, because I would think that you could say the reverse, that Terry could be using Kreese. It's really an interesting relationship between these two. I think it's almost, if you call it sort of like, I heard this phrase one time, like two brothers where they both think they're the older brother, where Kreese thinks he's better than Terry or smarter, but Terry thinks he's better than Kreese. And so I think when their interests align and their shared history come together, they're great friends and they've done lots of things together. But, I think for Terry, the dividing line is if Kreese gets in the way of Terry's plans. If Terry has control or he has an agenda and Kreese is not on board with that, or he does anything that Terry thinks could undermine him, I think that could be a problem for Terry. For Kreese, I think he might want the same thing. Maybe he wants Cobra Kai. Maybe he wants to be as successful as Terry, where he doesn't, you got that sense, when you talked about, a friend offered him a job, but he thought it was a handout. And that's probably Terry Silver. So he probably resents that he's in a position where he has to take jobs as handouts, or that he doesn't have the money he needs, or he hasn't been able to just even run a successful dojo. That's probably what he focused on. And so I'm sure he would want to be in a position where this is it, Cobra Kai dojo. That's Kreese's identity. I'm sure that's what he wants, and he wants to run it. If there's one thing in the world, that's his, right? And Terry could be coming in and sailing and want to take ownership of it and want to run it himself. But, Kreese might have this idea that, well, something, Terry's got all this stuff, but Cobra Kai dojo, that's mine. That's the one thing in life that's mine. So it's possible that Kreese could basically be trying to manipulate Terry so that he is the owner and sole sensei, the controller of the Cobra Kai dojo. So that, I'm wondering if that could be kind of like where, if there are cracks between the two, that's where they start. If Daryl Vidal were to make it into season 4, how would you do it? It'd be really interesting. I think it'd be interesting if Eagle Fang or Miyagi-Do were in trouble. Okay. So where could you go to for help? It would be interesting if you could bring Daryl Vidal back, because if you remember, he fought Johnny in the All Valley tournament in Karate Kid, and Johnny won, but they probably know each other if he's still in the area. And it'd be interesting if Daryl Vidal might not like, what's going on with the Cobra Kai dojo and would offer to help. It would be kind of an interesting way to kind of bring him in, because he's incredible. Like, if you've seen him, he's an incredible martial artist. And a while ago, I did an interview with Sean Kanan, and Sean Kanan's done work with Daryl Vidal, and it's he's just great. And I think Daryl Vidal wrote the foreword to Sean Kanan's book, Way of the Cobra, which definitely you should check out. What about Colonel Dugan? Hey, I don't know if you've seen this, but I've got a video on Colonel Dugan. Whether he speculating whether he might know John Kreese or Terry Silver. Definitely check it out. And it's possible, a lot of people don't like anything to do with the Next Karate Kid, but John, Josh, and Hayden said that anything in Next Karate Kid is fair game. It's canon. So Colonel Dugan exists in the Cobra Kai universe, whether we see him ever or not. So definitely check out that video and see what you think. And then John Ray Fernandez says, would you agree that season 4 is Robbie's Mike the Karate Bad Boy transformation? Would Robbie win using the Miyagi kata on Miguel as a callback to how Daniel defeated Mike? That's interesting. I think the writers of the show are really great at bringing all these callbacks, and using everything that we know from the Karate Kid movies and kind of refreshing it and bringing it to the new generation. And it's very possible that Robbie could be sort of a new Mike Barnes. The difference being is that Robbie obviously has a very personal stake in everything that's happening, whereas Mike Barnes, it was really just, he's kind of a hired gun. It was, he's sort of a mercenary, hired by Terry Silver to do a job. He really didn't have personal connection to anyone. Robbie does, very personal. Johnny's his dad, and he's, been in love with Sam. And so it's very personal for Robbie. So he might not be able to fully go as like machine, Terminator as Mike Barnes, but that's possible. It'd be interesting to see the kata again, because I know a lot of people say that might be one of the least plausible parts of the Karate Kid movies, was how Daniel won by just basically doing the kata and basically distracting Mike. So I don't know. It'd be fun to see how they handle that. Well, guys, I have really enjoyed, man, we've gone over an hour. I can't believe it. Thank you for watching this. I'm going to put this up one more time because I really appreciate you watching. This is coming soon. I will have a lot more information about this soon. You guys are the first ones to see this because you're watching this live stream, and see if you can tell what this is about. Anyway, thank you guys. And I will look forward to doing more of these live streams and just talking about all this stuff going on with Cobra Kai in the coming days and weeks ahead. Have a good day. See ya.